Caitlin Clark says, how do you say bang in Portuguese? It don't matter. Bang! For a preseason game, they flew up from Brazil, lost by 64, and got to make TikToks with Caitlin Clark after the game. Where do I sign up? Bang! Not sure why they played the game in Iowa, because Caitlin Clark, she was still shooting the shot from South America, baby. Bang!
Caitlin Clark was left absolutely speechless. And for once, not because she drained a logo 3 or shattered a record. Nope, it was something even rarer. The entire Brazil national team and their coach delivered the kind of jaw-dropping praise that caught even the most unflappable player in the game off guard.
The team were lining up to get autographs. She signed their jerseys. They were getting them to sign. They were getting her to sign their jerseys. She was signing the players' jerseys. This is like Dream Team. This is literally like Dream Team stuff. We haven't seen this since the damn Dream Team. She is literally signing the jerseys of teams she played against. She is signing their jerseys. They're that much in awe of her.
This wasn't your usual "she's great" soundbite. This was a mic drop moment from a basketball lifer, and it left Caitlin blinking like, did that just happen? Imagine getting called out in public with a statement so honest and unexpectedly flattering, it could double as a career highlight. That's the level we're dealing with here. And guess who played the exact same team a couple of days prior and didn't get the same love? Angel Reese. And she's furious. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from so we know the CC fandom is all over America and the entire world. Let's go.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Are you an amazing player? Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're changing the history in basketball.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming here.
Now, let's pause and really appreciate this. Brazil, the country of samba, soccer gods, and delicious steaks, just added Caitlin Clark worship to their national identity. Who would have predicted that? In a preseason exhibition match, not a playoff, not a finals showdown, Caitlin pulled so much gravity she practically tilted the basketball axis. Brazil's head coach, a man who's probably coached longer than most fans have been alive, looked at her game and responded like he just saw Michael Jordan in female form. This wasn't admiration, it was reverence.
The team she played against last night, and I understand a lot of this team was young, but the team she played against last night, getting pictures with Caitlin Clark at the end of the game, having her literally sign their jerseys, and those jerseys, you better believe the coach of the rival team being in shock. Like, this is the dream team. This is the dream team. This is the opponents getting pictures with the dream team.
And it didn't stop there. The coach didn't just toss out praise and call it a day. No, he practically canonized her on the spot. This wasn't the kind of fake love you get from some washed-up commentator still clinging to the 90s. This was genuine, top-tier appreciation. He praised her like she was a mythical creature, like she had wandered off Mount Olympus, picked up a basketball, and decided to moonlight in the WNBA. And coming from someone whose homeland worships soccer like a religion, that kind of adoration is gold-plated.
Brazil, their coaching, had no answer whatsoever for Caitlin Clark. And they threw so many different looks at her. Like, I've never seen a team throw so many different looks at a player.
But wait, it gets even better. After the game, Caitlin didn't just walk off like a superstar. She stayed behind to sign Brazil's national team jersey at their request. Think about that. She, Caitlin Clark, basketball's current son, autographed their team's jersey like it was just another Tuesday. That wasn't a signature, that was a generational receipt. That was the Mona Lisa autographing the Sistine Chapel. That's how iconic this moment was.
There you go. That's one, guys.
Go viral with that shot.
I
know, I'm crazy. After you do that, can we do a TikTok video?
And here's the best part. Caitlin didn't do it with arrogance. She didn't hit them with a smug smirk or make them wait while she adjusted her sunglasses. No, she signed that jersey with class, with charm, with the kind of grace that makes people wonder if she's actually a real person, or just the prototype for the perfect athlete. While Angel Reese is busy blocking fans and saying on Twitter she doesn't have the time for these little things, Caitlin's over here creating international peace treaties with her signature.
Like we know that we can be the best front court in this league, so just trying to do the best as we can. I think in this offseason we got the shooters that we needed, and as you can see tonight, we have some great shooters out there, which just spaces out for both of us. So I think we're in a great direction.
Meanwhile, Brazil's players? Just a few hours earlier, they were doing their best Caitlin impressions, trying to hit her three-point shots in warm-ups like they were auditioning for a parody reel. After the game, those same players were lined up like fangirls at a concert, phones out, eyes wide, begging for selfies and autographs like she was Beyonce with a basketball.
Across the footage of the Brazilian national team dancing on Caitlin Clark logo at Carver Arena. Man, a lot of people had mixed reviews about it. Well, it looked like that wasn't the only clip because the entire team got in on the action, bruh. Got in on the jumping on Caitlin Clark logo, stomping on it.
Caitlin stepped onto the court and actually did the thing they wanted her to do. Dropped a deep three with the kind of ease that made the crowd gasp. She didn't perform for the cameras. She just casually obliterated expectations, as usual. The Brazilian squad, still recovering from the whiplash of witnessing greatness, realized they weren't just on the wrong side of a highlight. They were a part of it. Not the kind you want. The kind that ends up in every sports montage for the next decade.
They were there. They were knocking her on her ass a couple of times. They were being physical. They were denying her. They didn't try to stop during the game. They just did not have it. They're so excited. They're taking pictures with her after the game. They're taking pictures. They're taking pictures with her like it is.
That's the difference. Caitlin doesn't play games. She owns them. While her peers spend their time stirring up Twitter beef or launching brand deals that vanish faster than a Reese jump shot, Caitlin's rewriting how the WNBA moves. Brazil didn't just respect her, they were in awe. And really, who could blame them?
Excuse me, pardon me, just trying to get through real quick. Sorry about that. Bang! Excuse me, ma'am, hold on. I think you dropped something. Oh, it's a dime. Floater, look at that. Big it, bang, boom, 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 bang. And her misses are majestic and set up her teammates for success. Look at this soft bounce off the rim, put back by her teammate. Bang! Just stand in the corner, clap your heels together 3 times and cut to the basket. Caitlin Clark will find you every single time.
You know who didn't get that kind of welcome from Brazil? Angel Reese. No selfie swarms, no coach quotes, no jerseys signed like they're priceless heirlooms. Just vibes and a couple of missed layups. It's almost like respect has to be earned, not claimed on Twitter. Because let's be real, when's the last time a foreign coach gushed about her game? When has a national team lined up for her autograph like kids at Disneyland? Brazil showed Caitlin Clark more respect in one night than Reese has squeezed out of years of self-promotion. And that's the problem. Reese keeps demanding to be the moment, while Caitlin just keeps creating them.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlin Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize that."
And while Reese's camp is probably furiously refreshing their mentions, Caitlin's just taking bows after casually reminding the world why she's the face of the league. She didn't ask for the spotlight. She took it. And now the whole world, from Iowa to Sao Paulo, knows the truth. Caitlin Clark isn't just great. She's global. Brazil didn't just see a player, they saw a movement. And like the rest of us, they wanted in. Because when Caitlin Clark steps on a court, she doesn't just change the game, she changes the atmosphere. And if Angel Reese wants to know what that feels like, well, she'll have to do a lot more than practice posing for the cameras. There's a reason the Brazilian team didn't pose for pictures with Angel Reese. There's a reason they weren't reposting highlights of her jump shots. Because when Caitlin Clark's in the gym, the energy shifts. The air changes. People know they're watching something special, something rare. Reese might talk like she's the future of women's basketball, but Caitlin is out here getting standing ovations in multiple languages.
Oh boy, did that feel good. Did that feel good from Caitlin Clark opening up the game, pull-up 3, bang, to the logo 3 to close the third quarter, walking off to a standing ovation. Caitlin Clark pulling up from 36 feet out. From start to finish, there was never a doubt in our mind. There was never a time where we even thought to ourselves, is this game going to be close? Indiana comes out. 8-0 run, close out the first quarter, close out the second quarter, close out the third quarter, sit our starters in the fourth quarter, and by the time it's all said and done, the Indiana Fever score more than double the Brazilian national.
Oh, and did we mention how long she played? 18 minutes. That's right, less than a sitcom episode. But in those 18 minutes, Caitlin turned the court into her personal masterclass. Every possession was a lesson. Every pass was an art exhibit. She was in and out faster than a Reese media apology and left a deeper impact. By the time the buzzer sounded, it felt like we had witnessed a full career retrospective, and she wasn't even sweating.
Our first look at Caitlin Clark in her second WNBA season, and she did not disappoint. She was raining threes, her handle looked tighter than ever, her vision was on point, and she brought this energy, and she brought the crowd, and everything was just electric because she was on the court.
That's what separates her from the rest. Most players need 40 minutes to make a mark. Caitlin only needs a fraction. She doesn't hog the spotlight. She is the spotlight. And the moment Brazil got a taste, they dropped their pretenses and joined the rest of us in the Caitlin Clark is Inevitable fan club.
But all in all, Caitlin Clark with a plus 42. She played 18 minutes. She played 18 minutes and was plus 42. Plus 42. 42 in 18 minutes. And there was a stage where it was her with all the rookies and she was still just carrying them. She got 2 assists to, I think, to an Yvonne Ejim. 1 foul, 3 turnovers to 5 assists.
There's a specific kind of joy when you solve a tough puzzle and think, wow, I might actually be a genius. Caitlin gave us 18 minutes of that. Except she wasn't solving problems. She was creating them for everyone else. While defenders were still deciding which direction to shuffle, Caitlin had already mapped out a full playbook and executed it like she had GPS installed in her sneakers. Her decision-making was eerie, like she was clairvoyant, casually outmaneuvering players who looked like they were still buffering.
108-44, Caitlin Clark. Did she look rusty? I don't know. 16.6 rebounds, 5 assists, plus 42, plus minus in only 19 minutes of hoops. Caitlin Clark hoops are back. She looked good, folks.
And while Angel Reese was somewhere scrolling her feed, probably filtering through more misunderstood queen captions, Caitlin was putting on a masterclass in minimalist domination. Let's not get it twisted. This wasn't a flashy 40-point ego trip. This was efficiency poetry. Caitlin could have dropped a 30-piece with extra sauce if she wanted to, but she didn't need to. Instead, she let the game breathe. She curated it. Every play felt intentional, like she was designing a highlight reel in real time, with full awareness that she only needed 18 minutes to leave the court smoldering.
And honestly, I didn't plan to shoot that logo 3. I know coming into the game, everybody wanted me to shoot one from there. But Steph was like, was supposed to come out at the end of the third, so she's like, give a foul, give a foul, give a foul. And then it was 30 seconds on the clock, which like between 30 to 33, that's like your 2-for-1 range where you have to get one up. So I saw 30 as we're inbounding the ball, which probably is inbounding the ball at 30, probably a little low. But I was like, why not? Might as well launch one, and it went in, and then Steph used the timeout to get me out. But yeah, that was pretty.
Meanwhile, other players were dripping sweat, fighting for relevance like their contracts depended on it. Caitlin? She looked like she might ask for an iced coffee mid-game. This wasn't just control, it was an exhibition in elegant authority. The game moved around her, for her, because of her. She didn't chase stats just clung to her, desperate to be part of the storyline. Caitlin doesn't just play basketball, she recalibrates it. Her style is a love letter to high IQ hoops and jaw-dropping athleticism, a combination that forces everyone else to either raise their game or get exposed. And guess what? Plenty are getting exposed.
Bang! Nope, we don't have moose tracks, no cookie dough either. Don't even ask about cookies and cream. I'll tell you what we do have, though. This is the locals' favorite. They always want 2 scoops, not 1 scoop. Butter pecan! Bang! Oh yeah, she's like that. You're too loading. Let's go.
And when Brazil's coach looked at what was happening, you could practically read the existential dread on his face. The man has coached through generations of athletes, seen everything from international gold medalists to once-in-a-lifetime prodigies. And yet, when Caitlin hit that step-back 3, it was like he briefly questioned the laws of physics. There he was, trying to hold it together, but you could tell he was processing a full basketball identity crisis in real time. Have I been teaching this game wrong? Is she what happens when evolution takes a jump? You just know he left that game wondering if Brazil should start naming streets after Caitlin Clark.
We want to compete. We want to be our best. We want to compete at a high level. We've got edgy players. We've got competitive players. And I guarantee you, it doesn't matter if we're playing cards or if we're playing basketball. They want to win. And they want to do what it takes to win and position themselves to win. So I love that about this group. It means that we don't waste time in practice. They don't waste reps. They don't waste moments we have to get better. And it really is a joy to coach.
And honestly, that wouldn't be a stretch. If he proposed a Caitlin Clark national holiday back in Sao Paulo, nobody would blink. They'd probably draft a resolution, buy some jerseys, and tune into Indiana Fever highlights like they were a World Cup final. Because this wasn't just a game. It was a statement. A moment of reckoning for anyone still pretending Caitlin's hype isn't deserved. And if you're a coach and not giving her flowers after witnessing that, bro, check your pulse. Greatness that obvious doesn't need defending. It needs recognizing. Anything else is just denial in a cheap suit.
Yeah, I thought it was electric. It's what you've seen, whether it's from the outside on television or being here broadcasting, but to actually feel the energy. I mean, it is a thing when you talk about having a six man, so to speak. Crowd energy. It gives you a lift. It gives you a boost. It's why we all do what we do, like to feed into these kinds of environments. And so it was a lot of fun.
And yes, we hear you, Angel Reese defenders trying to pivot the conversation. But Reese brings the passion. Passion is cute. Execution is legendary. Caitlin didn't just dominate the box score, she left a crater. While Reese tweets, Caitlin signs autographs for the national team that tried to clown her. That's not just optics, that's evidence. The Brazilian team knew what they witnessed. They didn't leave with bruised egos. They left with stories.
I'm glad I can be a role model for them, and they have a great impact on me too, and that's why you do it. Even at the end of the day, say I scored 0 points, I'm sure they still would have been there screaming my name and wanting an autograph, and I think that just really kind of puts into perspective the impact, and there's a lot more bigger things in life than basketball.
And let's be honest, Angel Reese doesn't exactly have teams scrambling post-game for selfies and memorabilia. She has subtweets and media spin. Caitlin has fans, stats, and countries falling at her feet. There's a difference between talking like you're the face of the league and being the face of the league. One's on billboards. The other's busy chasing clout on Instagram. One is fun to watch, the other is funny to watch. By the time the final buzzer hit, you could hear one question echoing through every corner of the arena. Did we just see the future? No, you saw the present. Efficient, elegant, exceptional, and her name is Caitlin Elizabeth Clark. So while Angel Reese continues campaigning for her respect, Caitlin's out here casually earning it across continents. Because when you're really that good, the applause follows you home, even when your home is someone else's court. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from so we know the CC fandom is all over America and the entire world. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.